What is Gucci YouTube? It's your boy Black with you out 3 long face, skinny body, and we are back still black with some more fire Boruto manga related content. Now, before we get into the video, you already know the dilly, yo. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button, and share the video with your friends. Most importantly, so let's hop to it, yes, Sirski.
9 mountains and 8 seas make one world. 1,000 worlds make one chiliocosm. 1 chiliocosm to the power of 3, and there's nothing I can't cut.
Now, if you were to tell me just in chapter 1 of Two Blue Vortex that central figures to the storyline include characters such as Moegi and Konohamaru, not even in Naruto Next Generation, just chapter 2 Blue Vortex, I would have looked at you crazy. But here we are, 14 chapters later. Konohamaru and Moegi are central figures to the plot. Now, in this case, we are talking Matsuri. I'm talking big Matsuri. I'm talking spot 'em, got 'em. You know what I'm saying? Miss Stepper, the one who went to the Hidden Sand Village. You know what I'm saying? Gave Gaara his annual almost dying for the village. You know what I'm saying? Participation trophy and put his son in the mix in the blender. Now, we don't know necessarily how the invasion occurred. Was Bug or aka Mamushi up in there, you know, putting in work, or did Matsuri really go in there and manhandle these men inside of the Sand Village? You feel me? So let's talk about how insane this has gotten, because Konohamaru versus Matsuri was something that caught all of us by surprise when the ball actually dropped in chapter 4, chapter 5 of Two Blue Vortex. The Shinju are awakened. They start revealing their targets, and we understand it becoming one of the more central focus points of the story and the pushing points forward. 2 of the targets have already engaged in, you know what I'm saying, confrontation with their said huntees, or, you know what I'm saying, predators in that case, with Jura confronting Himawari, Hidari confronting Sarada. And with the remaining targets that we know of right now, both Ada and Konohamaru, we understand the 2 Shinju that have yet to make their way into the Hidden Leaf Village, Mamushi and Matsuri. We understand that Mamushi was able to pinpoint Ada while she was spying on the Shinju meeting and looked her dead in her eyes and said, "My target is you." So off rip and early on, Mamushi was able to do something intriguing amongst the Shinju that gave people like myself something to talk about regarding, okay, the intrigueness behind his character. What potentially threat can he compose to not only Ada, but also to Damon, possibly. You feel me? So now, along the lines, and we move throughout the story, we see all of these interactions with Jura and Hidari. We get a feel for where they're at. We get a feel that how they operate, understanding, okay, there's still mystiqueness about Matsuri and Mamushi, how they fully operate. We understand they gang jumped Boruto earlier on in the story. Boruto got up there, out of there, swifty and nifty, but now we know, okay, Matsuri, at the very least, to some degree, is capable of not only invading the Hidden Sand, but gathering important intel for her squad, and also simultaneously strengthening her squad as well. So not only did she gather intel on Boruto, she weakened the defenses of the shinobi race, right? Destroying the Hidden Sand village, attacking the Hidden Sand, defeating the Kazekage, but she gained an ally for their team by trapping Shinki inside of a tree and gaining the Shinju Ryu. So it's a lot that is accomplished in a short amount of time by each Shinju in their respective regard, in their respective roles. Now, looking at this Sand Village invasion on the surface level, it's kind of interesting to say, okay, they can send out forces to, you know, go and help out the Sand Village. And some of those forces will be, you know, inevitably dealt with the confrontation of meeting Matsuri or possibly meeting Mamushi in battle. And we understand figures that we're looking forward to, you know, exiting the village would be someone like Kawaki, would be someone like Konohamaru, because of the fact that, you know, Kawaki and his whole entire, you know, decision on wanting to learn more about the Shinju, figuring out how he can get a one-up on them, understanding he already got sunned by their leader, but Konohamaru, because of the obvious reason of him being the target. I'm looking deeper into it, right? Without the confusion of Boruto's interrogation and his recent escape, And we just assume that Shikamaru is on his 10 toes and he's thinking out everything that has occurred. He's understanding everything that Kankuro just told him. An envoy being sent, or, a rescue or a relief team being sent out to the Hidden Sand would be the best course of action to take. But the most important thing to note is who, right? Understanding that now Konohamaru has been made aware by Boruto. He is a fellow target. The fact that Himawari and Sarada are targets already binds them to the idea, or binds them to the notion that they won't be permitted or allowed to leave the village for their own safety, and obviously for the grand scheme of things, because they're specific targets of these 10-tailed Shinju-like creatures walking around. So they don't know why they want them or what could come of them actually retrieving said targets. So Ada already being, under supervision, constant watch by Team 7, the mission that has been going on for years. Her and her brother have to be watched by Mitsuki, Sumire, and Sarada. They already understand that Ada isn't necessarily leaving the village anytime soon, regardless of the fact no one can tell her what to do or what not to do. Ada isn't going to be sent out on a mission. So Ada confronting Bug or Mamushi can be put on held out for right now. But looking deeper into the matter, why did Konohamaru versus Matsuri just get much more insane? Because now that we have help, which is more likely going to be sent out to the Hidden Leaf village, spreading their forces already thin as opposed to what they already have been, looking at all of the claw marks around the villages, around the outskirts, and making sure code isn't showing up in random places, and making sure the safety of the village is taking top-notch priority. So once a team gets sent out to the Sand Village to, provide help and to provide assistance, it can be the perfect opportunity, understanding, at least for the most part, in the Shinju's case, to then make a move on said targets. Now, the only people who haven't actively made moves on their targets would be Matsuri and Mamushi. Now, once a team is sent out to the Hidden Sand Village, it will just be headcanon, or it'd be far-fetched to just go outright believe and outright state that they will encounter Mamushi or they will encounter Matsuri on their way to the Hidden Sand, and thus the battle would occur there, right? Since the most likely case of figures like Konohamaru, figures like Sarada, figures like Himawari, and even figures like Kawaki and Ada are or will more likely be ordered to stay put inside of the village for their own safety or for the circumstances that are currently occurring. So this can be presented as an opportunity, because we don't know how many claw marks or how many claw gorms have gone unidentified or running around the outskirts, similar to how Jura and Hidari initially infiltrated the village in the first place. This can be the ideal, opportune, and pristine moment for Matsuri to pull up on Konohamaru and give him the business in the midst of, figures. I don't even know who they can possibly even send out to the Hidden Sand Village to see assistance, right? As much as I want to see the development and the current state of affairs within the Hidden Sand and the Land of Wind, I think this is going to be a curveball. I think it's a curveball to get us to, divert our attentions from things like where Kashin Koji currently stands, or what will be the next meeting between Boruto and Kashin Koji, what's going to be the rendezvous point, and things of that nature, right? But more importantly, the fact that Konohamaru was just disclosed, even though we've understood this information for the better part of over half a year now, that he is a target of one of these monstrosities that has been constantly attacking the village over the past 24 hours. So now that we understand now in Konohamaru's case, they've been releasing everything little by little, right? They showed us slowly but surely throughout his skerfuffles with Hidari, okay, he developed new jutsus. They opened up the entire series showing us he's the Hokage A. We understand the history of Hokage A's being groomed initially to become the next up-and-coming Hokage. Well, they showed us how he currently feels about Boruto and how he feels about the stance that he has to take against Boruto, right? So up until the first 13 chapters, they've been giving us all of these breadcrumbs for Konohamaru and letting us see, okay, slowly, all right, he's a target of one of the main villains in the story. Boom. Okay, he's a Hokage A. Boom. Oh, not only that, he developed a new jutsu, and it seems to be an impressive jutsu. Not only that, he's able to utilize it effectively in the middle of battle, not just once, but twice in the midst of the moment. And then we finally come to understand in the last 14th chapter, he has finally been disclosed the information of not only him seeing his student and fellow younger sibling of one of his students, right, being targeted by these Shinju 10 Tails monster, but now he himself is a monster. But not only is he himself a monster, but going back to his promise he made with Team 10, they will not forgive whoever done this to Moegi. So even with everything being put aside, It's his childhood friend, originally from Team Konohamaru, Moegi, and Udon. Konohamaru has a personal bone to pick, and the fact that a person, Shinju, Tree, Ten Tails, however you want to call it, is personally not only responsible for bringing Moegi back to him, but using their physique-like nature or similar like jutsu to cause harm or terror across the ninja world, and then possibly being the sole responsible reason for the Hidden Sand Village's destruction, is going to be a lot on Konohamaru's shoulder. It's going to be a lot on Konohamaru's mind, but I still think the high ground will be taken in the regard of Konohamaru being ordered to stay inside the village, and also on the unknown factor that they don't know that the Shinju that is actually targeting Konohamaru is responsible for the current destruction of the Hidden Sand Village. And even us, the reader, is completely ambiguous whether or not Mamushi or just an army of Clawgons or Matsuri herself are responsible for the defeat and destruction of Gaara the Kazakage and the Hidden Sand Village. There's so much more to look into it, but what I do know for a fact is that Matsuri and Konohamaru's potential battle just got that much more like exciting, and it's gonna go one of two ways, right? Either Konohamaru is gonna have his similar team built up to whereas we see where in Sarada's first confrontation with Hidari, she had likes of Konohamaru, other sensory ninja Joni, and Boruto to assist her with the ultimate fight and ultimately deal the final blow. And similarly, what we see with Himawari when she initially confronted Jura. Initially, Team 10 was her support. Kurama was her support, ultimately helping her give her that edge to survive that battle and ultimately have the outcome that we've seen. Now, in cases where we see with Ada, everybody already straight out, flat out said they can't wait to see Bug fight Damon, right? They already just disregarded the fact of Ada even throwing a punch because they know it's going to be Damon and Ada there versus Bug, right? And then we go all the way to Jura, and it's been endless discussions. Kawaki has to fight Jura. He wants to take away Naruto. Boruto has to fight Jura. Jura has killed Boruto in Endless Futures. It's not even a question. We already know that Jura has to fight Himawari after their first fight has already went down. So now when we finally get down to it, right? Matsuri, Konohamaru, how are they building it? Is there going to be a group of select people, 2 or 3 others to assist and support with Konohamaru in this potential battle? Are they writing it to where, we just overthink or overestimate Matsuri's power? Or did Konohamaru just get that much stronger and it might possibly just be a 1v1? Or get this, right? Because I know some of y'all might even get a kicker out of this. It might just be the dynamic duo of Konohamaru and Nishi tagging up against Mamushi, and we never even know, and we never even seen it coming. Or even interesting, because of her destruction of the Hidden Sand, on a more serious note, right? Because we know Nishi ain't putting hands on nobody. But on a more serious note, Konohamaru, because him obviously being the target and a figure from the Hidden Sand, right? So maybe even someone like Kankuro, aside from just having him report the news and the defeat of Gaara, it can be, okay, Konohamaru wants to get revenge for, obviously wanting to bring back his childhood friend of Moegi. And Kankuro, bro, you're not finna just do that to my younger brother and my nephew. Like, I'm gonna let it slide like that. So Kankuro and Konohamaru versus Matsuri. Let me know how y'all feel about that potential matchup and how that result can ultimately end up, right? And I think that's a real plausible way. And ultimately, I don't think that we will have any notable figures, or at least figures like Konohamaru, Kawaki, Sarada, and Himawari be sent out to the Hidden Sand Village for assistance. So if we have those 4 figures, especially hang back in the village, the story will be more heavily inclined to tell what's going on in the Hidden Leaf as opposed to whatever is going on in the Hidden Sand. And like I said, that one curveball with Kashin Koji and Boruto's rendezvous, where's that going to be at? And how is that going to look like? Ultimately, it's your boy Black Child. Let me know how y'all feel about the potential insanity of Konohamaru versus Matsuri and how y'all feel about Kankuro being even thrown into that mix. It's your boy Black Child. Holla at your boy. I'ma holla at y'all. Black Child out. Yes, sir. Ski.